And I believe that this would be a wonderful world to live in if all men would give credit to the Creator for what they do. Do it in His name and let His name live. Praise Yahweh, bless you. So in my body, I count it as nothing. Not concerned about it. I'm concerned about carrying out the will of the Creator Yahweh. Who are the Hebrew Israelites? They are the ones who take hold to what I teach and carry it into practice. I must warn everybody that not all who wear white and dress like me are worthy to wear it, nor are they all mine. People can wear what they want to. In fact, I invite my followers and disciples that I'm gathering across this country, don't put on white. You know, it's time for us to be real smart today and not let everybody know everything we know and where we stand and all that we do. Praise Yahweh. Truly, my work is across America, and I have followers and disciples across this country in greater numbers than you would ever dream. And you can't measure even the group that is here today by how many are in this county or in this state that love what I'm doing. We are real smart today. We know that, yes, we know. The FBI tried to stop me from being here this week. They were all over our property. They did everything to try to tie me up, to keep me from being here this day. And they even interfered and arrested some of my followers to try to put us in a hindrance position. So we're smart enough not to let them take all of our pictures, so we're not all here today. But if they start something, they'll find out how many is in the street. They will find out. Praise Yahweh. There's more with me than with them. Praise Yahweh. So I'm positive that you, the FBI, you're sitting in here, and may your ears be full and you take it all back to your superiors, whatever you can glean today. I know that Yahweh has a hot water for you. If you don't leave me alone, you'll find out. I told all of you years ago that you're in the presence of a man who will stand for you. I'm not a coward and I'm not a rabbit. So there's not anything that can make me run. Everything that could be written against a man has been written against me. And I stand here today victorious, ever growing, and stronger, and there's nothing they can do about it. Who are you, black man of America? Who are you, so-called black man of America? That's the question. That's the most important question that I can ask tonight. Who are you? How many of you remember being colored? You remember being colored? Those were the days, weren't there? When we were colored. I mean, we were most important when we were colored. We had all kinds of things named after us when we were colored. We had colored towels, colored water fountains, colored waiting rooms. But colored that was the days. We even had national organizations named after us when we were colored. National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Weren't we something? And of course, something happened. We went through a metamorphosis. I know I began to ask the question, you're colored, but do you speak Coloredese? You know, the Japanese speak Japanese. Do you have a colored name? Well, you know, the Japanese have a Japanese name, right? Well, is there a map somewhere on the earth with colored land on it? And all these answers were no, no, no. Nobody had a yes answer, affirmative. So, well, why do you call yourself colored? Don't answer, don't worry about the answer. They couldn't answer. So then we went through a change. Some of our scholars, they looked on the map, because we needed a change. We got tired of being colored. So you want to go out of the country? What is your nationality? I'm colored. They looked on the map, our think tank group, and they came up with a river. You know the name of it, Niger. You know, N-I-G-E-R. And they didn't want, that was too close to the other G, you know, nigger. They said, no, we can't come up with that. So they dropped, we better not name ourselves after a river. So they came up with what? The Negro days. How many of you used to be Negroes? Remember the Negro days? Big days, weren't they? Till I went around asking the question, well, do you speak Negroese? Do you have a Negro name? Can you show me any place on the map, Negro land? No, I can't show any of that. So, Negro is your nationality? Well, okay. So then they had to come up with something else. And I don't have it up here. They didn't give me my little package that I brought, but I had something to show you. Somebody came out with a song, said, I'm black and I'm proud. Remember that? I'm black and I'm proud. Say it again. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it louder. I'm black and I'm proud. How many remember being black? What's your nationality? Black. What's wrong with you? Can't you see? I'm black and I'm beautiful. Remember the black and the beautiful days? You know, during that time, they went overseas. Well, before then, we started wearing the dashikis, and we had a little thing with some prongs on it. What was it called? Pick. Yeah, that's right, a pick, Afro pick. You know, pick that Afro out, right? So by this time, we got some money, and we started traveling, went overseas. Guess what? In Africa, there wasn't one African wearing a dashiki. Nobody in Africa had a pick. Looked on the pick, it was made in Hong Kong. They came back to the country, spread the word. Nobody in Africa is wearing dashiki. Nobody's wearing afro. So guess what the brothers did then? They threw the picks down, took off the dashiki, went to the beauty parlor, pushed the women out their seat, went curly perm on them. So I had to ask, well, what's your nationality? Black. Well, what goes on your driver's license? The big B. Do you speak Blackese? No. Do you have a black name? No. No? Don't have a black name. Can you show me black land on the map? No, can't do that either. So your nationality is black. So then we had now this is going around so strong, running around the country asking these questions. I know I ask these questions wherever I go in the country. So then our intellectuals and leaders got together about 2 years ago. Y'all remember the meeting? What did they come up with? African American. They tried to be Afro-American at first. That didn't quite fit. Afro. Do you have an Afro? They got it together, came up with African. They said, well, there's Japanese Americans, Chinese Americans, Italian Americans, so we got to be some kind of American. So they came up with African Americans, and that ought to stop this Yahweh ben Yahweh from running around asking these questions. How many African Americans in here tonight? One? Only one? Two? One up there, that's an African American. You got a couple of African Americans. Since I'm on this kick, I have some questions to ask. How many still colored? We have any? All the colored people are gone. How many Negroes in here tonight? Still some Negroes left. All the Negroes are gone. Can you believe this? How many black folks still left? One black woman, two. One black man over there, three black folks. Anybody else? Three black folk left. Everybody else is paranoid. They're scared to be African Americans, right? I don't know what he's going to say next. Well, I have one. Yes, you're right. It was best don't raise your hands. Because I have about 3 hard questions for all you African Americans. I know you're waiting on me. I see, I hear, I know. I just want to know first, do you speak African? And the answer is, there is no African on the earth, and I have some followers who are Africans from several parts of Africa. They are my followers, my disciples. They don't speak African. There's no such thing on the continent. It's tribal languages. Okay, you got me, Yahweh on that one. I ask this all over America, so don't feel strange. Then I ask, well, my next question is, you don't speak African. Do you have an African name? Yeah, Lumumba, Sikoturi, Mandela. Now, what you got to say about that? Plenty. Those are not African names. Those are tribal names. Mandela speaks Bantu. Those are tribal names. So nobody in Africa has an African name. Okay, let's see what you got for this next one about this map business. Waiting on you, right? Tell me about this map thing. All right. I can't ask you, is there a place on the map called Africa? Because maps do show that. But I still have a question. How long has that continent been called Africa? You certainly cannot find it on any of the ancient maps, and I've seen several. Nowhere on any ancient map is the word Africa. So that means that Africa is a recent term. That means somebody changed the name from what it was to Africa. And my question is, who changed it? The same people that changed your name to Green and Underwood, Berry Cloth, and Green and Black. Same people. So now, how many African Americans are left? They've gone away too. So that was my original question. Who are you? I'm here to say tonight, it is impossible to move from poverty to riches eternally, not knowing who you are. not knowing your nationality, your history, your culture, your language, your name, your land, and your God. Without this knowledge, you can't move from poverty to riches. And I say to America, you can never prosper as long as you have 60 million black folk in America who don't know who they are, sitting next to your child who knows who he is. So as I get ready to go into how to move from poverty to riches, then I ask all of you who are my Gentile friends sitting in the audience tonight, and all of the other nations that are sitting here tonight, you who are Hispanic, and whatever nationality you are, be patient with me. I'll come back to you in a few minutes. You'll be able to get a lot of keys. But first, I want to address my people's condition and rescue them and bring them up to a level, and then we can all enjoy the benefit of my message together. We'll be on par one with the other. Praise Yahweh. So what am I saying? I'm saying simply that with our people having the knowledge of themselves and their kind taken from them, when our children go into a public school setting, they go there with a disadvantage, because all of the other children, they know their history, their culture, their heritage. If they're from German parents, they know that, and they know the history of Germany. So they sit there in the classroom here in America saying within their head, reinforced from home, I am a German American. And if anything happens in this country and I don't like it, I can go back to my homeland, Germany. And that goes true from the white child that's from England, from anywhere in Europe, naming any country. That is true for any Japanese sitting in the classroom. He knows if anything goes wrong, he can always go back to Japan. And when it comes to our poor little children, when they tell you to go home or go somewhere, you don't know where to go. They say Africa, you don't know where in Africa to go. And you don't want to go after watching Tarzan and Umbawana. I mean, Tarzan is awesome, isn't he? All the animals come when he calls, everything. Everything gets out of the way of Tarzan when he hollers, oh, wow. He whips up on alligators, kills them in the water. Be 50 Africans run up on him, he beat up all of them. They all run the other way. I mean, and then you see Africans in the movies, all these bones in the nose, stuff hanging from the ears. You don't want to go to that. So you really get insulted and upset when somebody tells you, go home to Africa. You want to fight. I'm born in America. So to you, the various nations that are present tonight, you know your history, culture, and languages. And all of you know that I'm dealing with a group of people who have been robbed of the knowledge of themselves. And until I get the black man back on track, until the black man of America is back on track, this great country, America, will never get back on track. When I teach the black man of America to move from poverty to riches, as you have already accomplished and demonstrated in your works as people, then the whole country will once again prosper. As long as you have almost 60 million people as an underclass who you have to work almost 60% of your time in taxes to take care of a bunch of people who don't want to take care of themselves, how can you prosper? America should be glad that I'm here and men like me are here to address this reality that it's time for the black man of America to stop blaming white people for their downfall, their condition, their poverty, their hell, and get up off of it, and let's go to work ourselves and get it done. And I must stop and take the time at this moment and address that reality. You know, it's a shame when you look out at white people who the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, the cousin, the niece, the nephew, the uncle, and the aunt, they all get together, get 2 jobs, work day and night, work 18 hours a day, save 1 salary, put all their money together, build a plant. Sacrifice 10 years or more and put their money together and build a manufacturing plant. And soon as that plant is completed and they are ready to open it, something strange happens in America. Real strange. There's a bunch of people that look like you and me. Say, have you heard? There's a new plant just opened up. And I wonder, is they hiring? Is they hiring? I'm going to fill out my resume, go get my application, and look for a job. So they go running out to the new plant, put in an application. People say, well, I'm sorry, we have all that we need right now. Because who have they hired? They've hired their niece, their nephew, their uncle, their cousin, their brother, their sister, the people who sacrificed to put this place together. Doesn't it make sense that they would hire them first? They're the ones that put their money together and worked and slaved to get it. They came here as immigrants too. And guess what we'll say when they don't hire us? Prejudice. Discriminate. I know what we'll do. We'll picket you. We'll boycott your business. We'll put you out of business. You better hire us. That is so dumb. Who is keeping you, black man and woman, from you and your mother and father, sister and brother, cousin and niece and nephew and uncle and aunt from getting together and working 2 jobs and saving 1 and putting your money together and save your money for 10 or 20 years and open up your own manufacturing plant and hire yourself? I know that hurts some of you. You don't like to hear, get up and do it yourself. But that's exactly what I have done. And I have moved us, all who follow me, to a $100 million empire across the country. I've done it, and we have put our pennies together. Just a few of us have put our pennies together, and we have built it, and we don't beg anybody to do anything for us. We're not prejudiced. We just believe in doing what America offers. This is a land of opportunity. Why don't all of our people count on that one? Because we don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to pay the price. We want to sit around and choke America to death. And I'm here to say the jobs are going out of America. And unless you get up right now and join hands with me and build something for yourself, you are absolutely doomed. And you're not going to have anything to picket. See, you better watch what George Bush is doing. He told you to read his lips. He said no more taxes, and he lied. Taxes are killing the businessman. How can businessmen expand when they're paying an ever-increasing tax load? The only way they can expand is that there are a lowering of taxes or taxes being eradicated. It's a very wicked system of taxation in this country. Put men out of business. And the people you're looking for a job from are going out. What are you going to do? Just keep looking for welfare? That's on less and less people. It's on the shoulder of less and less people who can take care of you on welfare. You think drugs are going to last always? Drugs Church business isn't going to last always. So let's move on for a minute to the social side. Because you might say, well, if we're supposed to do all of this, how can we? I just told you, I gave you a key. Wisdom of Yahweh is the highest. Y'all do hear him working, don't you? That's Yahweh out there rumbling. Yeah, that's him. He's incredible, isn't he? If you don't like him, you step out when that lightning is going down. He'll teach you some respect. When Yahweh is doing that, I go inside. I'm his son. I know to go inside. I like that. That's a lot of power out there. The wisdom of Yahweh is the highest. Yahweh is the name of God. There's no wisdom higher than God. So when you take on the knowledge of Yahweh, you gain wisdom. With this wisdom, we're able to build. I've come to establish the perfect moral society of the elite Godhead. That means that every one of you sitting in this auditorium tonight are here because it's your divine destiny to be here. You are here because you have chosen from within yourself to learn, how can I move from poverty to riches? How can I improve my condition? That's why you're here. It tells you also that not everybody wants to move from poverty to riches. How many of you have ever heard our people say, how you doing today? And they say, fairly middling. Anybody? Yeah, that's all the way across the country, fairly middling. How much money would you like to have? Oh, just enough to get by. How many heard of that? I mean, our people act like they're afraid to be rich, like it's a sin. I've heard all kind of brainwashing all my life against being rich. Boy, rich people have problems. Have you seen poor people lately? Just to get to this auditorium, you have to come through the homeless. That's poor. Our social problems are solved when you take on the knowledge of God. That's the key in moving from poverty to riches. Let's deal with the educational aspect. You probably saw on display this evening some of the talents of our students at Yahweh University. If you came in a little late, you missed it, but I think we were here long enough for you to see some of it. I decided to not show the film, which would have highlighted them, but you can see that at some future date. You can come by our headquarters building. We'd be happy to show it to you. Nevertheless, Yahweh University is an independent school. I'm the founder of Yahweh University. As an independent school, it means that we write their curriculum. Being an independent school, Yahweh University, it means that we write the textbooks. And it means that there are people inside the textbook whose pictures look like us. And since all of the pictures look like us, it means that our students have high self-esteem. And one of the books that I've written for that particular school is Yahweh ben Yahweh's Divine Mathematics, Designed to Rule Forever. And that's exactly what it is. Our children are taught how to count. How many of you were taught how to count? Like, 1 plus 1 is 2. How many of you? You were taught that? So what is 1 plus 1? 2. How many say 2? You've been burnt before, haven't you? Already tonight, so you're gun shy. All of my students will ask you, to what? 1 plus 1, 1 what plus 1 what? Equals 2 what? See, they know that 1 plus 1 equaling 2 is nothing but numerals. My children want to know what the number is. They understand that a number is an idea. So when you say 1 plus 1 equals 2 to them, they say, well, yes, but what's the idea? What's your idea? My little fellows, 5 years old, will ask you that question. You know that 1 nothing plus 1 nothing equals 2 nothing? And you know what the Bible says about that? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing, and less than nothing. No wonder you're in poverty with nothing. Because you learn to count in theory, but not in reality. So now that you've learned that lesson, I have another counting question for you. 1 apple seed plus 1 apple seed, how many says equals 2 apple seeds? Yeah, 1, 2. Don't be afraid, it's all right. We're just having a little fun. How many say 1 apple seed plus 1 apple seed equals 2 apple seeds? Okay, we got a few hands. Wrong. I knew it. I just thought he would say that. Wrong. 1 apple seed plus 1 apple seed equals 2 apple trees with 400 apples on each tree and 12 seeds inside of each apple. And those planted will give you a humongous orchard. And my children will say to you, well, what do you do with the orchard? Say, well, you need trucks to haul all those apples to the manufacturer. And you need a trucks to haul them to the stores that we're going to own to sell them in, like first-rate foods. You will need stores to sell your apple juice, and apple butter, apple cider, and apples. That's money. That's an industry. And you ask you, how many of you have ever eaten an apple? And you can raise your hand on it. What did you do with your core? What, you did what with it? So you threw your riches away. And you wonder why you're in poverty. All you do is eat. You eat up everything and then throw it away, and you think you're throwing your money away. Here's an orchard, thousands of trees. Some of the limbs die, some of the trees die. What does that become? Wood. What do you do with wood? Chairs, tables, furniture, houses. Why don't you own an orchard? You eat enough fruit to plant the world. You know what was strange to me? I come to Miami, I come to South Florida, and I'm looking at black folk. They got avocado trees, mango trees, orange trees, grapefruit trees. What else? Banana trees. You know, all these fruit trees. The Cubans come from Cuba, walk around through our neighborhood, say, may I have the fruit off your tree? Like, well, say, yeah, honey, go on, help yourself. They strip the trees, go out on the corner, sell all the fruit to come off your trees, come back and buy up your neighborhood with it. I think it's wonderful that they do that. But what's sad, what is really compounding the sadness to the matter is, here come these same women that just gave away all the fruit from their trees, come in our store and buy avocados, mangoes, and all those fruits that they just gave away. Isn't that sad? And we wonder why we live in poverty. Sound like you're getting some good keys. Our children have learned all these secrets up front. They know it now. They're saving their seeds right now, asking when can they plant them. So we'll be looking for some land so they can plant. And see, the people that feed themselves determine their grocery prices. You know, the people that grow the food, that's who determine the grocery price. How much will you pay to eat? Whatever they charge. And when they get through charging you, how much money do you have left? Not much. So we have an independent school, and our children are learning all of these independent type thoughts. We just had our second graduation in September. We had one in March. Every 6 months we have a graduation. Our children came out at age 17. And upon graduation, every one of them, they went into one of our businesses as managers. The majority of the graduates in March are running our multi-million-dollar supermarket, First Rate Foods in Overtown, graduates from Yahweh University. So what does that mean? Praise Yahweh. And the ones that just graduated in September last month, they're in training at this minute to run our hotels, some of our hotels, and also we're training them in this particular area, in this location, in this city, so they'll be ready to run our skyscraper that we just bought in downtown Atlanta. That hotel will open up this month in downtown Atlanta. You're just going to have to come and see it. It is fine. The Barclay Hotel, we own it. Flat, straight up and down, own it. It is first class. Ritz-Carlton, Hyatt has nothing on us. We just have a little cheaper price than they do. What's strange about Miami? They say, black people be saying things like, we need a black hotel in Miami. We need some black hotels. We have 5 in Miami. Why do you want to pretend ours is invisible? And then you have some that are boycotting black hotels. Boycotting the white hotels in this city. Right? Right? Well, I'm trying to figure out how I can go along with it since they've been boycotting me for 3 years anyway. I managed to survive with black boycott all along. And if you own, see, we don't have any problem at Yahweh Resort Hotels. We have 5 in the city, one on the beach, and we're full. And we're full every season. We don't have any room. That's right. People from all over the world stay with us. And guess what? We don't have any management problems. We don't have any front desk problems. They're talking about they need jobs in management. They need jobs in higher management. They want to dictate to white people what to do with their hotels on the beach. That's crazy as hell. That's the dumbest thing that you can have on earth. When you buy your own hotel and you run it, you are the management. You are the front desk. You are the accountant. You don't have to sit around doing no crazy stuff like that. That's insane. Absolutely insane. And see, I can't have no enemies from black folk because the ones that's doing it down here anyway, they boycotted this too. That's right. And until you get it together and join hands together, instead of going through all this foolishness of begging other people to take care of you, you are never going to be respected in this country. How can anyone respect a beggar? You don't respect a beggar. You don't like the homeless yourself, or you put them up in your home. If you like the homeless, there wouldn't be any on the street. You don't like them, that's why you have them sleeping on the street. Oh, that's real. It's time for you to stop being a hypocrite and stop pretending. Black men of America, you're talking about you're going to boycott white people in Miami. Where in the hell are you going? You going to a white man in Fort Lauderdale? You going to a white man in Georgia? wherever in the hell you go in America, you go into another white man, they're all the same family. What is wrong with you? Take your money out the bank then. Same people on the beach own the bank in town. Stop shopping at Winn-Dixie and Publix then. The same people that you're trying to boycott on the beach that own the hotel, they own the bank, they own Publix, they own Winn-Dixie, they own your house, they own your neighborhood. You are stupid. Praise Yahweh. It's time for you to wake up and get up and do something for yourself. Then the whole world will respect you. It's a shame to watch people come here 30 years ago, Cubans. I'm so proud of them, I don't know what to do. They got off the boat with nothing. Absolutely nothing. Castro took all their money. People came over here with nothing. Did they ask you permission to take over Miami? Did they come up, huh? They didn't ask you permission? They just took it, huh? They took jobs you didn't want. The low-paying jobs. You know, the low-paying jobs you didn't want no more. They took those jobs. Slept 50 to a house. Changed shifts. The next crew came in and slept. They only had one gas bill, one light bill, one note. Next thing you know, they bought the house. They all buying gas, they get a van, and 25 of them get in the van and go to work. One car note, one gas bill, pooling their money, saving their money. Start going to the store, buy the store. Then they shop at their own store. Next thing you know, they own Malone and Hyde. Then you want to get mad at Cubans. Doggone Cubans, couldn't take our jobs. You've been here longer than the alligator been here. You came here before the alligator had nerve to come up in here. It's been here 435 years, haven't done nothing with all the money you have. Cubans come here in 30 years, take the lowest paying jobs in town, own all the downtown. Now you want to get mad at them. I'm here to tell you, so-called black man, you all better learn a new language. You either come and join hands with me or learn a new language. You might better learn Japanese or something. They buying up the country.